Beamer Merchant here again. Today on this beautiful sunny day, we are going to show you how to remove a water-cooled alternator, and we are going to remove it from an '01 BMW X5 with a 4.4 motor. We've gone ahead and removed the whole front of the engine, the whole front of the car. So this gives you a better view as to what we're talking about. If you were working on this car, if you were removing this item with everything, with the whole bumper headlights still on your car, you would have, this is the view you'll be getting here. Okay, so but again, for video purposes, we've gone ahead and changed the view. That way you get a better sense as to where the bolts are and what you need to do. Anyhow, as you can see, the serpentine belt has been removed already, and now we go to we proceed to remove the water-cooled alternator. We go ahead and remove this here. That's the pulley right there. It's usually covered with a cap like this. What you gotta do is you gotta pop it out. Okay, it pops out. Behind it, you're gonna find a 50 Torx. Okay, now with this here, be careful not to strip it, because if you strip it, it's not gonna be a fun day for you. So be careful. Make sure when you put the wrench in there, push it in pretty tight. And basically, I used a long one here, and this is the Torx. Fits right there. Just make sure that when you're removing it, put constant pressure towards the bolts. That way it doesn't slip. Because if it slips, you're gonna strip it, and even if you do it one time, it can be damaging. So anyhow, remove this right here. Okay, once you remove that 50 Torx, now you're gonna have to go ahead and take these out. This one and this one, those are 13s. And I'll explain why you need to remove this. This is the tensioner. Okay, so let's go ahead and take those out. Okay, we've gone ahead and removed the tensioner. And now this is how it looks here. The reason why we need to remove that tensioner is because the next step that you're going to take is you're going to have to remove these bolts here. These are 10 millimeters. If you didn't take this off, you would have a hard time removing this bolt out. And even if you were able to go ahead and pull this out, remove this bolt with the tensioner in place, when you pull the alternator out, it would go ahead and make it more challenging. But again, I just go ahead and remove it to make my job easier. So anyhow, now let's go ahead and you got to remove these right here, this bolts. 10 millimeter, and they go all around. Okay, before we do that though, I don't want to jump ahead. Obviously we gotta disconnect this. Okay, and we're gonna have to remove this plastic bolt. This is a 17 millimeter. This is the positive. So what I strongly recommend is when you work on this project, just disconnect the negative cable from the battery. So there's no power going here. So that's just a word of caution. But anyhow, just go ahead and take this 17 millimeter out. Okay, and this is the tool I'm using. I'm using a long socket to reach here and my breaker bar. So it's a little challenging because the power steering reservoir hose is on the way. Just make sure you put it out, move it a bit so you can have access to that bolt right there. Okay, we've gone ahead and removed that bolt, and the bolt looks like this. It's a plastic, it's a 17 millimeter. Okay, so once you remove the bolt, this cable just slides out. Okay, now we're gonna disconnect this. When you do this, again, since you're gonna be from the top, you might have a tendency of, when you try to disconnect this, to pull out towards you. But if you do that, you can break this this part here. It's very fragile. Again, heat with plastic makes plastic very breakable. So again, just be careful when you remove this. You press on the sides and slide up directly. Okay, so that's done here. Now let's go ahead and remove the 10 millimeter bolts all around. Okay, we've gone ahead and removed all the 10 millimeter bolts, and there are a total of 6 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The ones that might be a little challenging are this one, if you don't remove the tensioner, and that one right there. if you don't remove the cable that goes here, they're gonna be hard to access. So anyhow, once the 10 millimeter bolts are off, you just go ahead and very gently, you know, take your hand or whatever and you pull the alternator out. Okay, you might have to wiggle it, do something, but just it should come out or slide out. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, I managed to go ahead and free up the alternator. What I did is on the top here, I don't know if you can see, it's hard to see, but anyhow, right there's like a little area where you can just use the leverage to use a flat screwdriver and pull and pry the alternator off. So once you do that, as you can see, it starts leaking water. Make sure that you have something to catch the coolant on the floor, otherwise you're gonna have a mess. And let me see if I can just go ahead and do this. Let me show you. See, there you go. It's gonna start, and all you do is slide it out. After that, pretty much the alternator is out, and just be careful when you pull it out and bring it up, because remember, your alternator is gonna be here. It's gonna be a little challenging, but anyhow, that's the process to remove a water-cooled alternator. And this process is the same for 740 models from 99 to 2001, 540 models from 99 to 2003, and obviously X5 models as well. So anyhow, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, let us know, and be sure to subscribe. Take it easy.